What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your man ChazzEllis once again answering the questions that you asked me. I did a video about is a pretty girl more likely to cheat on you than a unattractive? So, of course, had to do the video because some girls have asked me about that too. Is a top-notch guy more likely to cheat on you than somebody who's not so top-notch? Is a good-looking guy more likely to cheat on you than somebody who's not so good-looking? The answer to that question, I know some guys are going to get mad at me for this, but the answer to that question is yes, yes. This is not to say that good-looking guys are going to cheat on you. This is not to say that a top-notch guy is going to cheat on you. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that somebody who is a top-notch dude is more likely to cheat on you. Why is a guy more likely to cheat on you when they're top-notch? Because they have more options. And that's kind of how guys work and how guys operate. 9 times out of 10, if you're dealing with a guy who's really top-notch and he's able to get a whole lot of women, he's going to be sleeping with most of those women, or at least some of them. A lot of times you're dealing with a really top-notch woman and she could be surrounded by dudes and not any of them are smashing. I don't know if you've ever met these dudes who are around some really, really pretty girl and they're not smashing. It's like the saddest thing in the world because they're like those people who, like you see the bakeries when they'll come out with all the bread and the cakes and all that kind of stuff, and they'll do it early in the morning and they'll put it all in the window, but then you'll see some people just over there like, oh, wishing that they could get some, but they can't. That's kind of how you see these guys. So it's kind of like women are a little bit different because sex is so easy and it's not really an accomplishment for a woman. For women to go mess with some dude is no accomplishment. We like, okay, even an ugly girl could do that. But as a guy, you could be a superstar and there's still women that you can't have sex with. You could be the most attractive dude in the world and there are still women who won't just give you sex right off top. The reality of the situation is if like Megan Fox or Megan Good or somebody like that walked into a club with 100 dudes in it and said, hey, pointed to any guy and said, pull your pants down, get in the back room over here, pull your pants down, get naked, I'm going to give you some. Let's be real. Maybe one guy would say no. Maybe one guy. We're talking about only heterosexual dudes being in the club. Maybe one dude would say no. If they were all single and heterosexual dudes, maybe one guy would say no. And if he did say no, all of his friends would come at him on some other stuff like, what is wrong with you, bruh? Look, man, we've been talking, bruh. You need to just go ahead and admit you're gay. All right? We're not going to trip on you. We're going to be cool with you still. Just go ahead and admit it, bruh. That's how we would think because it's so abnormal. But for a woman to turn down sex from the most top-notch dude in the world, that's not abnormal. It's not abnormal at all. They're like, oh, well, she wanted a relationship. So that's kind of how it is. So when you're dealing with a guy, the chances of that dude cheating on you are going to always be a little bit higher just because of the fact that guys have been so programmed to pursue sex throughout their lives. And as time goes on, if you got somebody who's a top-notch dude, it's going to be so many more girls coming at him. The reality of the situation is a lot of guys will stick their chest out and be like, oh, I'm so faithful to my girl and everything. And that's cool, but for some of those dudes, they're like threes. It's like there's no girls that are coming at you. All you're doing is taking the time out to not pursue women. That's really not anything to stick your chest out about. Some of these other higher level dudes have to dodge women on a daily basis, and that's a whole different ball game. I remember one of my friends was telling me, this is back when Kobe got in trouble for that whole thing in Eagle County with that girl, and he was like, man, I can't believe he cheat on his wife like that. Look how pretty she is. And I was like, bruh, because at the time we were both like pretty darn broke, and I was like, bruh, we broke. We young kids, stuff like that. I was like, man, we broke, bruh. We can't really speak for what Kobe would do. I haven't seen you with a girl, and this dude, for real, I hadn't seen him with a girl probably in about a year or so. So I'm like, man, I ain't seen you with a girl in like a year. You can't even get a girl. So how you going to sit here and say what you would do if you were Kobe and you had to dodge women all day? So the higher level guy you get with, the more dodging he's going to have to do as opposed to other guys who have to pursue. So that's going to make it more likely that he's going to cheat on you. That's not to say that he will cheat on you for sure, because a lot of people look at this stuff as such a moral issue And the reality of the situation is it's all putting circumstances together and saying what's the most likely outcome based on what I have in my face. Because, for instance, if you're with a dude and he's not really a high-level dude, he's not really the best-looking dude in the world, doesn't really have game or the ability to talk to a girl, the reality of the situation is even if y'all get into it with each other or y'all have a downtime for months and months on end where you can't really, where things aren't going that well, the way it works is it's not like he's just going to go out there and girls are just going to come pouring in at him. Even if he tries to talk to him, a lot of those girls won't want to talk to him. So the chances of him cheating on you in the worst case scenario for your relationship are a lot lower just because it's going to be hard for him to find girls, just like it was hard for him to find girls before he got with you. But if you get with a guy who's really good looking, he got money, he's got status, he's just doing better, he's got everything in the world going for him, then that means that he's probably going to have girls coming at him. And if he has girls coming at him, when your relationship breaks down a little bit or things are going poorly in your relationship, then he's going to still have to muster up the strength to turn those girls down when it's really against a guy's nature to do so. Like I said, a woman will turn down anybody, because that's not what they're looking for. But a guy is programmed to have to pursue. Just like we have to ask girls on dates and all that kind of stuff, we are programmed to pursue. So turning down a girl is very, very difficult for a guy. And usually it's got to be the strength of their relationship to keep them from turning somebody down. And if your relationship is kind of falling off a little bit, that's when you're going to be more likely to have that higher level guy cheat on you. That's just the reality of it. I know some people might get mad at me for saying that, but it is what it is. Once again, it's your man, ChazzEllis. Peace.